Good day everyone, my name is Alex and welcome to a new review. Let me start with a question. Have you ever wondered what happens when you're not at home? Because I have. Me personally, I get a lot of deliveries every day. My neighbors steal my recycling bin and so on. So I always want to see what happens whenever I'm not at home. So for today I have a Wi-Fi camera. This one it's made by D-Link and it's called the DCS-2530L. The main selling points for this camera are the resolution, so this camera can record at 1080p, and the field of view. So this camera has a field of view of 180 degrees and that makes a big difference whenever you're recording something. The footage that I'm showing you right now is recorded with one of my older cameras, one that I've been using for the past 2 years. This is a Samsung camera, and as you can probably tell, the field of view it's not great. And what you are seeing right now is recorded with this new D-Link camera that I'm trying out, so you can probably tell for yourself there is a big difference in the field of view in between these two cameras. Let's start with a very quick unboxing. So this camera comes in a very good looking box. On the front we see a picture of the camera itself and a picture of a smartphone, because you can basically view anything that the camera sees on your smartphone or tablet. Inside the box you're gonna find the camera itself, you're gonna find a few booklets, and you will need one of them to actually set up the camera, and the power adapter. What I like a lot about this camera is the fact that you can power it from a power bank, so you don't need to use that power adapter that comes with it at all times. So you can just buy a power bank and just place the camera anywhere. And that could be useful if you don't have a power plug available, or if you want to place the camera somewhere for a short period of time or something like that. But it gives you a lot of flexibility basically whenever you're using the camera. The camera itself is very light and very simple. It's made out of plastic. On the front we have a light sensor, we have the microphone, we have a couple of infrared LEDs so you can basically see at night. We also have the lens and an LED light. On the left hand side of the camera we have a slot for an SD card, and moving on the back there we have a WPS button, a reset button and an LED light. At the bottom of the stand we have a removable plate, so you could remove that plate in order to place this camera onto the wall or something like that, and then you can just easily put the camera back on whenever that plate is on the wall. Setting up the camera it's super simple, it only takes 2 to 3 minutes. So first of all you have to download an app. The app it's called D-Link Lite, and you can find that in the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Once you have that app installed on your device, all you have to do is follow the step-by-step instructions in the app. So it's fairly simple to do so, and you're going to find a QR card in the box. So you can scan that QR code and it's going to be much easier to actually set this up. Now, if the camera doesn't find the Wi-Fi networks or anything like that, just do a reset on it and the following setup. You're going to have to start the setup once again, but the second one will work. I had that issue with my camera, and at first I wasn't able to find any Wi-Fi networks, but I just reset the camera and then I was able to find those Wi-Fi networks. Once the camera is set up and connected to the Wi-Fi, you can just open the app at any time and see whatever the camera sees. Now you have some options in the app there. So first of all you can change the recording resolution. However, I think 1080p is the best resolution. If you want to watch live whatever it's happening or whatever the camera sees, you can do that, and you can even turn off the sound. So yes, the camera records whatever sound there is as well. So if you have this in an office, for example, you can hear whatever people are talking or anything like that, but you can just turn that sound on or off. Now the camera will start recording whenever it sees any movement. Now if you have the camera placed towards the road, you don't exactly want the camera to record every single time a car passes by. So you're going to select an area where the camera should start recording, and that's called an active area, and you can just click on the screen. So basically select where the camera should record whenever it sees movement in that area. So in my case, I just placed an area around the door. So if you see someone around the door, the camera will record when somebody comes by the door, but it's not going to record every time a car passes by. You also have access to past recordings that the camera did. So if you want to see what happened yesterday at 2 p.m, you would basically scroll to yesterday at 2 p.m. and you can just see whatever happened yesterday at 2 p.m. Now the downside to that is the fact that the camera only records on the SD card. So if you don't have an SD card inside the camera, you can only watch live footage, but you're not going to be able to see any past recordings. That is a downside to this camera, because this way if someone steals the camera, basically the footage is gone with the camera. Next, I want to show you some sample recordings that I've done with this camera. So I moved the camera around. I had that power bank with me at all times. I haven't actually plugged this in that power adapter. So I placed the camera around the house in different places. Keep in mind that this is an indoor camera, so you're not going to be able to use this outside, because if there would be any rain coming on the camera, well, the camera is not going to work. So the following footage was recorded with this camera. So as you've seen, the quality of the recordings in daytime, it's quite good, and I'm quite impressed with that 180-degree field of view, because you can basically see anything. Next, I want to show you some footage that I recorded at nighttime, so the infrared LEDs were turned on. And as you've seen, the nighttime recordings aren't as clear as the ones that we've seen for daytime, but that's normal for most of these cameras. And it's time to conclude this video. So I have to say that I love the quality of the recordings that we get from this camera, and I love that 180-degree field of view, because that's something that we don't really get with a lot of other cameras. Price-wise, well, it's about the same with all the other cameras that do basically the exact same thing. And I like the fact that you can actually use a power bank to power this, because you can move it around wherever you need it. If you have a kid, if you have a pet or something like that, you can just point the camera towards that object or a person or whatever, and then you can see whatever you need to see. So you're not limited by that cable. What I don't like about the camera is the fact that we don't have an option to record on the cloud. So everything gets recorded on the camera, and if the camera gets stolen, well, your recordings get stolen. So that is the downside. I wish they would offer a service for like, I don't know, 10-15 bucks a month, where you can actually record everything on the cloud as well. So that's the only downside that I found for this camera. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, press that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.